Hello, my name is Michelle Lavelle, and I'm the director and a co-founder of Granite State Home Educators. This brief video is a summary of the problems the EFA bill presents to the homeschool community, along with solutions. New Hampshire has an education attendance law that applies to all children from age 6 to 18 years old. Families have three broad options: public education, which may be the local district or chartered schools; private education; or home education, per the home ed law, which is found in RSA 193A. These are separate and distinct educational options. Each one has its own set of laws and education rules, and families may transfer from one to the other option in a clear process. All are recognized in the attendance law as broad educational opportunities for families. There are three problems with HB 20, the Universal EFA bill as it impacts the homeschool community. Although the bill intends to create a new fourth type of educational option, it fails to do so because the bill does not add EFA student to the attendance law, which is RSA 193.1. Section 4 of the bill states the EFA satisfies compulsory attendance, but it is insufficient because it does not change the attendance statute itself. In addition, HB 20 only permits a student to exit the EFA program to enroll in their local district schools. It does not allow them to exit to a private school or home education program. These are recognized educational options in New Hampshire and must be available alternatives should the family wish to end their participation in the EFA program. Finally, because the EFA is not included in the attendance statute and may be used for parent-directed learning, it is mistakenly conflated with homeschooling, which is its own and separate educational option and defined in its own statute, RSA 193A. This confusion and mislabeling of a parent-directed EFA will be seen as an undocumented homeschooler. As mentioned, HB 20 attempts to create a new fourth type of educational option, but because it is not added to the correct statute, the attendance statute, it appears to be homeschoolers not following the law. That confusion will give the appearance that the EFA student is an undocumented homeschooler because the EFA requirements do not include the same requirements as homeschooling, which have notification, a portfolio, and annual assessment requirements all prescribed in the home ed law and education rules. Although on the surface, a parent-directed EFA may look much like homeschooling, they are not the same, and we will explain that using an example in the next slide. Finally, homeschool families may choose to participate in the EFA program and not realize they are changing educational options and have a different set of requirements. And that confusion is worsened because the EFA is not in the attendance statute. And as written, HB 20 does not allow a family to exit the EFA and return to home education should the family choose. Let's explore the undocumented homeschooler concept a bit with a side-by-side example. Family A is an EFA recipient family, and Family B is a traditional homeschooling family. Family A chooses to participate in the EFA program and receives a grant. They choose to do a family-directed education as opposed to enrollment in a private school. This EFA family may use the grant only as prescribed in the program's eligible uses, which may include fees for online classes, curricula, computer hardware, and more. This family must follow the requirements outlined in the EFA program, which does not include a portfolio or annual assessment. Finally, this EFA family may only exit the program to enter their local public school. By comparison, Family B is a homeschooling family and does not receive the EFA grant funds. They are doing some kind of family-directed education for their children, and they may use any resource they choose for their children's learning without any limitations. There is no approved list. They may utilize a local teen services for tutoring, go to museums and cultural centers, subscribe to online services which are not classes, and more without restrictions. This homeschooling family, Family B, follows the home ed law, which is found in RSA 193A, which does include a one-time notification, maintaining a portfolio, and some kind of annual assessment, so there are clearly defined different requirements from the EFA program. Finally, this family may change to any other recognized educational option as they choose for their children. On the surface, these two families' educational programs may look the same, but they are fundamentally different and should not be confused. Because the EFA is not defined in the attendance law, yet has different requirements, it gives the appearance that the EFA family is an undocumented homeschooler because they are not following home ed law. Saying the EFA is used for homeschooling only worsens this mix-up. It presents a problem to homeschoolers because they will be blamed for the state funding going to families, even when they do not participate in the EFA program. This will result in efforts for more homeschool regulation. The solution is to amend HB 20 to include the EFA Student in Attendance Law, RSA 193.1, and to restate in the definitions of the bill that an EFA satisfies compulsory attendance. This will create the EFA student as a legal option for attendance in New Hampshire. It must be in the bill because the statute doesn't update automatically. It must be part of the legislation. The bill must also be amended to allow a student to exit the EFA program to go to any of the other educational options, private or home education, not only public education. These changes must be done by an amendment because these changes are not an automatic process. In closing, Granite State Home Educators has 3 core values. First and foremost, we believe in empowering families with educational opportunities. We are focused on homeschooling, but we support the ability for families to choose whichever option best suits their family's needs. Education is not one size fits all, and children have one opportunity at their K through 12 education. The Universal EFA program has the potential to help many families access educational opportunities for their children. For these reasons, we hope our concerns with the Universal EFA bill can be resolved so the program may benefit many, many families across the state. Thank you for watching.